Hello, it is Claire here and welcome back to another Take Action Daily video where I share quick tips about things that are working for me in my business and with productivity and that sort of thing, in the hope that that will give you some ideas and some actions that you can take in your own business so that you can find more clients, make more money, have more time, all of those good things when you are running a business. Okay, so what I want to do today is actually jump into my Evernote interface on my desktop. So Evernote has web-based app, it's got a iPad app, a phone app, all different sort of integrations. So today I'm just going to show you on my computer, and I basically was sharing in my weekly newsletter last week about how I have updated my workflow around capturing notes. So the challenge and the problem that I was having was that I consume a lot of information. So I listen to a lot of audiobooks, I read a lot of books, I watch a lot of sort of webinar trainings and stuff like that, and just podcasts and all sorts of things. And I was just feeling like I didn't have a really good workflow for how I could capture all of the different ideas that I was getting from all those different sources, and being able to sort of store them all in one place where I could reference back to them and come back to them and sort of make the best use of sort of the time that I'm spending on consuming a lot of content. So this has been sort of a bit of a bugbear of mine, I guess, for a little while, and I've just spent last week doing a little bit of sort of thinking and planning and that sort of thing. So I've come up with a new system. My old system used to be to use Asana. I used to use that for pretty much everything: to-do list, idea capture, project planning, training stuff, processes, SOPs, like all different sorts of things. But I've just been finding lately that Asana's not quite meeting my needs for these sorts of things, like what I'm talking about here in terms of more detailed note capturing, and just having a note capturing system where I can be a bit more versatile in the way that I capture notes, whether I want to have screenshots or drawings or audio stuff or links or text or whatever it might be. And I'm just finding that Evernote's working a little bit better for that sort of thing. So what I thought I would do, and this is only a brand new system for me, so this is sort of like a 101 sort of level of where I'm up to with the whole thing, and I'm hoping to build on this over time, and I'll just sort of see how it works out. But I thought I'd share where I've got to with it for you in case that is of interest. Now, for those of you who do not know what Evernote is, it's a very old app now. So it's definitely been around for a long time. I have tried to play around with Evernote a few times, like quite a few times, but I've just never been able to sort of get it to work in my workflow very well. And it's probably just because I had other systems, so I just sort of forgot to use it or whatever. So I'm definitely trying to be better with it now. I also am using an app called Things, which is going to replace my to-do list, which I sort of had parked in Asana as well. So I've been testing out that, and so far the sort of combo of Evernote with Things seems to be working pretty well for me I've been doing it for about a week now, so it's not very long, but we'll see how it goes. So basically, this is the new, and I think this is fairly new interface for Evernote, and I think it's sort of pretty user-friendly. You can actually customize your widgets here, and you can make them bigger or smaller or whatever you want to do with them, and adjust them however you sort of like to work, which I think is pretty cool. You can customize the photo that's sitting behind there as well. You can have them in whatever order. You've got this sort of like little scratch pad thing where you can just jot, down quick ideas, and then you can sort those out and put them into proper notes later. So if you have, you're working on something and you're working at your desk and just want to capture an idea that comes into your mind, that's a great place to just sort of do that before you sort of formalize putting it into a proper note. And then I have created a bit of a system over here with my notebook. So there's lots of different ways to organize notes within Evernote. There's a pretty good tagging system which I am using. So I'm going to be using tags and I'm going to be using notebooks, and I'm just going to tag and add to notebooks for the time being because it may be overkill to use both, but for the moment I'm going to just test having notes in both notebooks and with tags on them, and just see how that works out. I may drop the tagging system later on, or I may drop the notebooks later on, I'm not sure, but we'll just see how we go. And as you can see here with my notebooks, which I can open by clicking on that, if I just collapse the notebooks down, basically this is based on I'm about to add another notebook, which I will show you how to do. But basically, actually, let's not do that yet. So basically, this is based on the PARA method loosely, so which is projects, areas, resources, and archived. I have added another section called IP because I have a way of sort of documenting my intellectual property in terms of the ideas that I have, which I share with the community and stuff, which is based on Matt Church's Pink Sheets. So I have that sort of system, and I want to capture my pink sheets in Asana, in Evernote. So that is what that process is about. I haven't named my folders yet. That's sort of a work in progress at the moment. That's why there's not too much in there yet. But I've decided, having learnt about Matt Church's pink sheet process, that I'm going to create all my pink sheets inside Evernote. And then Para. So basically, if I just do test notebook here, what I can do is add that notebook to a new stack, which is basically what I would do here. So O1 projects, and that is going to create a new stack with notebooks underneath where you can start to add notes into notebooks. And so what I will do with that, which I haven't fleshed out yet, but I'm going to do that this afternoon, is to add in all the different current projects that I'm working on. So that can be anything. So it could be my house renovation as one notebook, which is a big project that's coming up. It could be the new coaching program or mentoring program that I'm working on and sort of getting that all up and running. And I've got lots of other sort of projects on the go as well. I've got to remake one of my courses, so that needs to come in as a project. So it can be personal project. You can do this however you want. For me, my life of personal and business is all mixed together. So I am going to sort of have both sorts of projects in there, but you make that work however you want. So that's projects. So that's the P of Para. A is areas. So this is basically, as you can see, just sort of different areas of things. And then again, this is only just the start of fleshing this out because I'm still getting my head around how this is going to work well for me. But, you know, I can put notes in here when I have ideas about what I can write in my weekly newsletter. I've got heaps of personal notes saved there just in terms of, I don't know, different stuff to do with just codes or whatever the thing might be. I've got different things to do with my business stuff and coaching and all different things. So that's areas. So the way I think about that is areas that are a bit more like long-term stuff, but still stuff I'm working on, versus projects which are sort of time-bound. They've got sort of a start and a finish and a completion sort of thing. So that'll be sort of a more revolving area in the way that I think about it. So that's projects, areas. Resources is sort of stuff that's a bit more like stuff I want to come back to and be able to refer to. And this is where I am trying to do that sort of capturing of stuff that I've been watching and listening to. So you'll see I'm going to try and have book summaries of books that I've read so that I don't just forget everything that I've read in the books that I've read. I've got like professional development. I've got templates, which I'll add to in due course. I've got summaries of different seminars or webinars or trainings or whatever. And just from a coaching program that I'm doing as well, I'm going to track and keep all the summaries of those trainings in there as well. So that is resources. And then IP, I've already explained to you. And then archived is obviously what it sounds like, which is, you know, for example, when you finished a project or whatever, I would probably archive the notebook related to that project down into here, so that I can keep track of all of the notes if I ever want to refer back to them, but they're not things that I'm actively working on at the moment. I also might park stuff there in the archived if it's like a someday maybe type thing. Like I have so many ideas about different products and different stuff that I want to create, but they're not all active and they're not all ready to be developed, or I don't have time at the moment or whatever. So archive might be a good place to pop those as well. So that's the way I am thinking about it. The other good thing is that when you are on the fly, which I am all the time, and you can see yesterday and a few hours ago, like if I am out on a walk, I can dictate a note into a notebook and it all just lands here in my inbox. So that means that on my, Sunday planning session or whatever, I can spend half an hour going through the notes from that week and I can allocate them to specific projects. The other thing I can do is pull up a quick shortcut on my computer for my new Things app, and I can allocate a action task for myself to do based on one of those notes. So if I, need to action that in any way, I can just quickly sort of integrate that with my to-do list app things. So that's the start of my very new workflow around how I am going to be sort of tracking and keeping the stuff organized. So yeah, I'll let you know how it goes, but that's basically the overview of where it's all sitting at the moment. And I hope it sort of gives you some ideas about how you can think about that as well. I can't remember where I picked up this Para thing, but I've seen it a few times on YouTube around the place. This is quite a common classification system for Evernote. I've added in that IP one myself, so it's a sort of adapted version of that, but I can't give you the correct attribution of who has come up with Para. I'm very sorry. So a bit of digging and you should be able to find that out if you're interested. Okay, but it was not my idea, just to let you know that is someone else's idea. Okay, and then the tags, you can tag your notes as well in a different way as well. So that means that you can actually do searches by tags and stuff like that as well, which is super handy. So I'm just going to give that in your shortcuts. You can put up things that you are using a lot into your shortcuts, which is really handy as well here. You can collapse this little menu off. So it's very versatile, and yeah, I'm enjoying using it so far. So I hope that little tour helps you and gives you some ideas. And if you aren't using Evernote, or if you are using Evernote, maybe it'll give you some ideas of how you can improve your workflow with Evernote. I hope that's helpful, and I will catch you in the next video. Have a great day.